Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today, I'm gonna be honest, this video's only purpose is to chase the hype of Season 4 of Invincible. No other reason for it. I don't have a script, nothing, I'm just sitting here, just gonna say off my mind, alright? There's nothing really to this video. Just gonna ride the hype of the little bit of the hype train left for that season, alright? That's basically this entire video's purpose. So, yeah. Let's get to it. All right. Can Invincible survive? Can Invincible survive basically being Goku? That's kind of it. I'm just going to take the events of Dragon Ball and Z, if we get there, and just replace Goku with Invincible. We'll see how that goes, huh? Will he do well? Will he do not do well? We'll find out. First off, gotta get in this. I'm gonna be using Show Invincible after season 4. All right, just gonna use it there, and he will not get stronger, no gain anything. This is just that version. You know, in points where Goku would train, we're just not gonna keep him doing that because you know what? I gotta see how far this guy can go. I can't just make him train. He can't train. So yeah, basically that's it. And first saga, Emperor Pilaf saga. I'm pretty sure it's obvious that he would win here. For the main fact of he can fly, which really does help him in this situation, except none of Pilaf's traps are really good against people who can fly. So yeah, we're just gonna skip this over. Next up is the Tournament Saga. Now, I think Invincible can handle, obviously, most of the characters, but when we get to Master Roshi, I think it's gonna be a bit difficult, because I think Master Roshi is strong enough, especially in his buff powered form, where Invincible can't just instantly one-shot him. And I think, actually, no, it won't be that difficult, because Invincible still flies, so all he has to do is pick him up and basically throw him against the ground, which might not be as easy as it would be for any other one, because it's Master Roshi. He has some techniques that can really do some damage. I mean, that electro technique he did against Goku would fuck up Invincible. But, you know, I think Invincible could survive. You know, all you gotta do is just pick up Master Roshi and throw him. But yeah, in terms of physical strength, I think Invincible still beats out Master Roshi. Anyways, on to the Red Ribbon Saga. Now, most of the villains he'll be fighting, I think Invincible can handle. Where Major and Talaton and everyone else I can handle. There's only really two I think there's only really two that I think deserve to be talked about. That's General Blue and Tao Pai Pai. Let's talk about General Blue. Now, in terms of strength, I don't think General Blue is really beating Invincible, well, or at least not really noticeable to be beaten, as, you know, come on. Do I really gotta bring that up? He was close to after Tournament Saga Goku, but he wasn't stronger than him. So yeah, I think Invincible could probably handle General Blue, but General Blue does have that hypnotism thing, and you know that could be really useful against Invincible. Because as far as we know, he is not immune to anything like that. So you know that could be dangerous. But if Goku manages to survive that, you know, maybe Invincible can as well. All right. Anyways, let's get to the real interesting point about the saga, and that's General Tao. All right. General Tao is definitely strong enough, I feel like, to fight Invincible. Like, listen, I think General Tao is definitely strong enough to fight really most of the Viltrumites. All right. I know it's hard for me to explain how I think that, but it's just, come on, it makes sense. I mean, General Tao is able to take on a full Kamehameha from a post-tournament Goku. A Goku who is able to lift a huge boulder. And since Viltrumites struggle to lift boulders a bit bigger than that, or like stuff a bit bigger, it's just like, come on. Listen, I'm not saying, I'll say this. I'll say this. General Tao, Mercenary Tao, is probably not too much stronger than a Viltrumite. Maybe not even much stronger. I will say this. in my mind, Mercenary Tao and an average Viltrumite are on similar levels, alright? I'm just gonna get that out there. They're on similar levels to me, alright? They just... Everything I see from General Tao and the average Viltrumite, which we don't really see too much from an average Viltrumite, says they're somewhat comparable. Except for one thing. General Tao is a martial artist, and every other Invincible and every Viltrumite are not. They are not as skilled as fighters as Mercenary Tao. Sure, I'm sure Invincible maybe knows how to throw a punch, but General Tao knows how to actually fight. Plus, he has that Dodon Ray. So, I'm gonna say this. This is the first fight that Invincible, if he replaced Goku, where Invincible could die here, alright? This is the first fight I could really see Invincible losing and dying here. Alright, everyone else, you know, obviously Master Roshi wouldn't kill him, but still, here, just because, I think Invincible is stronger than General Tao, but he just doesn't know how to fight as well as General Tao, in Mercenary Tao. And Mercenary Tao has like techniques to attack things. I think this is definitely the first fight, and I think many people should agree that this is the first fight where Show version of Mark would have struggled against him. Maybe not too hard, but definitely a struggle of some kind, I think. You know? I'm just spitballing here kind of thing. I'm just saying it, but I mean, what is General Tao doing that is not compared? Anyways, on to the Tien Shinhan saga and all that. Now, how well would Invincible do against Tien Shinhan and the others? I think Goku, except it is a tournament, it does help a lot if Goku, damn it, not Goku, Invincible. When Invincible's fighting in the tournament, except he can fly and, you know, he could still do the same thing he should have done in the last tournament, you know? He goes up to Krillin. When he's fighting Krillin, he picks up Krillin and tosses him. Now, Krillin at this point is definitely strong enough to put some damage on Invincible, but, you know, one can fly and one cannot fly. You know, the flying really does help in a situation, except when you have fighting Tien Shinhan, because Tien Shinhan can fly. Wow, and he's stronger than General Tao. So, you know, there's a magic difference there. So Invincible is going to have to be really careful with this fight. He could still win, you know. All he's got to do is basically just knock him down to the ground. But if he's not, I mean, this is a fight that, you know, I can see going either way. Not because of Tien Shinhan stronger than Invincible. I still think Tien Shinhan is weaker than him. But Tien Shinhan does know how to fight way better than Invincible, and that really does help. Plus, if he uses that tri-beam technique, which we've seen that technique push down enemies far stronger than him, he uses that on Invincible. He's just gonna get knocked to the ground and lose the tournament, which you know, Goku technically lost the tournament, so nothing really changes in the end. But still, I think in this fight, there's a high chance of Invincible losing. You know, I mean, all that Tien has to do is really just hit him once with the tri-beam attack, and he's knocked down to the ground, and he loses the tournament. Which, you know, it's technically what happens, but, you know, it lasted really long in the fight. But if Tien does it right, he could just end it really quickly. Anyways, let's get on to the next saga, which is the King Piccolo arc and all that. Alright, I think Invincible can handle all of the underlings. Alright, let's get that out of the way. I don't think the underlings are going to do anything crazy. They don't really have any special moves, and they don't really seem to... They're strong, yes, but they're not really doing anything too crazy, so I think Invincible can handle them. The one thing is Demon King Piccolo. Now that might be a problem. First off, I'm going to say something real quick here that I don't know why some people believe that Demon King Piccolo can blow up a planet. That was quite an interesting thing when I first heard about it. Because apparently, some people are taking the statement where he said, or like, where he said, I wouldn't think twice about destroying the planet or the world. He says, I wouldn't think twice about destroying the world. And some people are taking that and saying, wow, he could destroy a planet. You want to know something? A lot of people say, we have enough nukes to destroy the world. They're not being literal when they say that. They are referring to the fact that we have enough nukes to destroy all of humanity. But yet, they say destroy the world. Because sometimes you say something, you don't literally mean that one statement. Do I think Demon King Piccolo, when he was saying, I wouldn't think twice about destroying the world, or whatever, do I think he's being literal, or do I think he's referring to the part where, oh wait, he's going to destroy each city one by one, or province one by one, like he was planning to do? His plan was, I'm going to destroy this province one at a time. If he really wanted to destroy the world, why didn't he just not do it all in the first place, huh? Oh, wait, because he can't, because he's not planetary. Listen, Demon King Piccolo is strong. And I think at this point, the chances of Mark losing are high. But no way is Demon King Piccolo a planetary threat. He is not a planet buster. Now, I do think he could probably beat Mark here. This is, kill Mark is really likely. A lot of other reasons. But, with his one attack, I think he might obliterate Mark. But Mark still there's a chance Mark could win here. I'm not denying it, but it's very low. Very, very low. But still, Demon King Piccolo is not planetary. God, Why do people believe that? His most powerful attack is probably large moon level. I'll say that. Probably that. Nothing more. Anyways. After that, let's move on to the final saga where I think Invincible, as of right now, fully stops at, alright? I don't think he moves at all afterwards. And that is the final tournament or Piccolo Jr. arc. Yeah, Mark's just not winning here. Piccolo Jr. has just so many abilities, the ability to fly, so much stronger. Yeah, I just think that he loses at this point. Now, Mark here. I think Mark could do still decently well in the fight. I just think at this point, no, he just can't win. He sucks at fighting comparatively to Piccolo, so he's just gonna get his butt kicked. And if Piccolo does something like, the giant technique, grabs Mark and then tosses him and stuff, listen, Mark is probably just gonna die at this point. I mean, Mark has not shown anything too impressive besides that kind of, not even a planetary feat, alright? Which, man, that was quite an interesting scene to watch, huh? That whole planet busting feat. But then again, that feat was mostly just Space Racer's laser doing most of the damage, it seems like. But hey, they did something, I guess. Even though the animation didn't really show it off. But, they supposedly did something, so hey. Mark helped destroy, very, very small amount of help destroyed a planet. So, that's impressive. Huh? But I think at this point, Piccolo is just destroying. In terms of base power, they may be pretty similar, I guess, but just Piccolo with just one of his special attacks could probably just kill Mark here, instantly obliterate Mark, because I just can't say anything. But yeah, it's not like this matters much. This is just a video I just used to ride the hype train. Alright? You want to argue me down below, huh? You think Mark could solo all of OG Dragon Ball? maybe he solos old Dragon Ball Z, I'll argue with you. And if you think Demon King Piccolo is planetary, oh, I'll definitely argue with you on that one. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this video. Have a nice day. I am so tired right now. Oof, rough day. Anyways, see you all later. Bye-bye.